Coming up next, from Grace and Frankie, award-winning icons Jane Fonda and Lily Tomlin.
Between their Oscars, Emmys, Grammys, Tonys, and Golden Globes, today's guests are Hollywood icons who have taken home so many awards, too many to mention. From overthrowing their boss in 9 to 5 to their dysfunctional friendship on the hit comedy Grace and Frankie. They've been entertaining us for years. The 5th season of Grace and Frankie premieres today. Take a look.
This is not your home anymore.
Yeah, and thanks for telling us that, BTW. BTY?
No, you had it. Don't doubt yourself.
The house just sold.
Just.
We were going to tell you.
Soon.
We thought this is what you wanted.
And you didn't want to deal with it.
You all manipulated us.
Yeah, why don't you take us into separate rooms and have your way with us? And that didn't come out right, I know that. But you get the point.
We didn't manipulate you.
We convinced you.
And what does it matter? Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. Especially when you're worried about your mom, who happens to be sitting inside on outside chairs in a house that she doesn't even own with a toaster but no electricity.
We have a blowtorch.
Please welcome the fabulous Jane Fonda and Lily Tomlin. Better than this. We are so happy that you both joined us today. So excited.
We're happy to be here, too. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
What's the cutoff when you don't say that anymore? I don't know.
Usually it's if you haven't seen the person, you could kind of still say it.
Okay, thank you. All right.
I vote for January 2nd.
Now, you two have such incredible chemistry together.
Yeah, we do.
When we first saw you in 9 to 5, okay, is it true, Jane, that you had to convince...
Oh, you have no idea.
do the
It took
part?
a year to
Really?
convince both Lily and Dolly to do it, yeah.
I didn't want to, you know, Dolly, I follow what Dolly does, and so until she accepted, I held off.
And then after a week of shooting, she wanted to quit.
Oh, well, it was a bit...
She's very erotic. It's why she's brilliant, too. I guess.
Why did you want to quit?
Yeah. What?
Why did you want to quit?
Well, because the first thing I shot was the stuff with the animation, and it was all like, you know, they had a silver spoon hanging in the air, and later a bird was going to be holding it or doing something with it. And I looked totally foolish. I said, well, I'm never going to be able to do this part. So I just went to Bruce, who was her co-producer, and I said, please just let me go. It was only one day shooting. You don't have to pay me.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, because I'm going to be an embarrassment to the project.
Can you believe it?
Oh my goodness.
And then I saw the next day's dailies, and I thought, I better stay in this. I'm looking very good.
Now, it's hard to believe the movie came out in December of 1980. You were about to come out with Jane Fonda's Workout, which went on to become a multi-million-dollar empire. Lily, I've heard that you say you actually deserve a cut of it.
Well, I don't usually say it in front of her. But, you know, and I did, and then I had to reveal another black hole mark on her reputation, and that was that they had offered me the part in California Suite first. Oh. Oh. And of course, I turned it down because. Wow. See, look at her. Look at her rib cage.
Oh, stunning.
And because I wasn't going to go, it was the 70s, early 70s, I wasn't going to go on the beach in a bikini and flaunt my sexual body because I was very feminist. And of course, she had no idea what feminism was.
I was a feminist. There's nothing. Feminists can look good in a bikini.
Yes, they can. Yes, they can now that the world is aware. But at that time, I was the only one who was aware.
Oh my God. Jane, did you ever get Lily to work out when you were doing all the workouts?
Did I?
Yes, I went with you a few times to the workout. Yeah. And we'd go, you know, like on our day off or early in the morning or something. And she was so devoted and so tireless. You know, excuse me, I've been looking away from you.
It's okay. Thank you.
And so I would get, I would pull my mat out of the view of the mirror because we had another woman demonstrating and she was just devoted doing it like a student. And then I would kind of make the motions, you know, because she would go for 90 minutes.
Wow.
And I would kind of breathe, you know, and drag my fingers at the proper moment.
And stay out of view.
Right.
We never got Dolly
Do
to
it.
come to the workout, I can tell you that.
Well, speaking of Dolly, Jane, as the producer of 9 to 5, you cast the great Dolly Parton in the role of Dorothy Rhodes, and it was her first time acting, right?
Right.
So, how was she? Was she a quick study?
Actually, the first day of shooting, she showed up and we realized that she had memorized the entire script. She didn't know that you're only supposed to learn your own lines. She learned it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How sweet. Wow. And then, okay, so everybody knows that most people have not actually met her husband, Carl. But I hear you are one of the few people who actually met him, so he exists?
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Oh, yes. First of all, I got to say, he was really handsome. Yeah. He looked kind of like my dad. He also cooked breakfast for us. I spent the night with them. In their guest room, there was a mirror over the bed. It was anyway. I won't go there. But while we were eating breakfast, I said, "How did you meet?" And he described driving in his pickup truck past a 7-Eleven, and there was Dolly drinking an RC Cola, and he went like this. And he got so worked up trying to describe to me that he's tipped over backwards in his chair. He fell over backwards.
That was your first meeting.
And he said to me, I could put my fingers around her waist. But then there was, you know, he was so cute and then I spent about 10 days with them going all through the South to prepare for a role I was doing, and when it was all over, he made a movie of the whole thing and sent it to me. And anyway, well, I could go on and on. He's hysterically funny, he's very handsome, and they really love each other.
Well, we want to talk more to you guys. We have to take a commercial break, but we will have much more with Jane Fonda and Lily Tomlin when we come right back.
You know, you should give this place a chance. Come with me to the workshop I signed us up for tomorrow.
Thanks, but I'm gonna just stay in bed. I'm gonna pretend I'm not waiting for a text and finally finish the goldfinch.
Yeah, it turns out the workshops are mandatory. And Erasmus took your Kindle.
If I weren't afraid to climb down there, I would smother you with my pillow.
You got a pillow?
That was a scene from Grace and Frankie, and we're back with the show stars and executive producers Jane Fonda and Lily Tomlin. But we want to congratulate you on the 5th season of Grace and Frankie. Thank you. And the question for me is, Lily, has there ever been a scene that was impossible to get through because you were laughing so much?
Well, we one night this is like in the second season.
No, it
or-
was like 2:30 in the morning.
But it was
We've
in
been
the
working
second
for like
season, wasn't it?
17 hours. I
Yeah,
remember.
and we could not finish the scene. I had to say to her something so ridiculous as I said,
we were standing this
right,
close.
and I said, "Do you want me to blow some of my courage into your mouth?" And we could not get through it. And the crew was getting like
They were getting angry with us. Yeah.
They were getting pretty fed up. It was just forever. It took forever.
But you made it through. Now, Lily, this I'm so excited to ask you about. Your character, Frankie, is a big fan of marijuana, including the occasional edible. I heard that you had a real-life incident with edibles.
Well, I did, but it was years and years ago. No, it was in the 70s, and probably, well, this was homemade edibles.
Sure.
And I found a big plate of cookies at the house, and so I started eating them, and I ate about 15 of them. And I was lying, and Jane, my partner, was not home, so I was lying on the sofa, and because we had made, a substantial living, theoretically, in those days, we had a lot of video equipment, which most people didn't have, and old reel-to-reel editing and everything. So I said, I was having wave after wave of heavy marijuana influence. And I said, I'm not going to come back from the next one. I'm just going to sail off someplace. And so then I suddenly had the realization, because in LA they have those supermarket competitions, between Albertson and Ralph's, and they'll say 9 times out of 10 Ralph's or Albertsons is cheaper than blah, blah, blah. And I suddenly had this realization, it's incumbent upon me, because I have video equipment, I will videotape these commercials, and I will stop them, and I will compare each price, because they were going through so fast you couldn't read them. And then I would read them in my concerts. When I go on stage, I'll just sit in a corner and I'll say, Ralph's $1.29. Albertson's $1.28, something like that. I thought it was such a revelation.
I really did, I think.
So, Jane, working together so much, have you guys rubbed off on each other?
Could I blow some of my rub off into you? Oh God, I don't know if she's pretty much a person unto herself.
And you're not?
Well,
I can tell you that when I'm not with her, I really, really miss her. Oh. It's physical. Like a dog. Like when you have a dog that you sleep with, but then you go on a trip, and and you're in a hotel, and you reach out for your dog, and then where's my dog? That's kind of the way it is.
Oh God, help me.
It's amazing. The bond is amazing, and both of you guys not only have this incredible bond, but you were producing long before being a female boss woman was popular in Hollywood. It was very rare when you guys were out producing back in the day. And now, last week at the Golden Globes, Regina King made a promise that everything she produces from here on out is going to be 50% female, 50% male. Now, Jane, what do you think about the future, about gender equality and how that's going to work in Hollywood? And do you think we've come far enough?
No, we haven't come far enough. We've come a little bit, but we haven't come far enough. I'm too old to produce now because it takes too long. But if I would, I would do that, what she did. I would want that.
I'll be there to back you up.
Okay.
What do you feel about the one-star ratings?
And I think we need more women on every level, because what people don't realize is, you see a lot of women here, and you see women talk, but what you don't realize, the decisions are made by guys, usually white ones, up there.
Go ahead and talk.
Okay.
That's what has to
Say
change.
it. Say it, girl.
Who makes the decisions?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? That has to change.
right.
And then our stories are different, right?
That's right.
And it is.
And so guys lose out when women don't be on there and put out their narrative. Guys lose out on knowing what half the truth is.
Yeah. And we're changing it one project at a time, right? More when we come right back. with Jane Fonda and Lily Tomlin. So you both have been interviewed so many times. You've been asked the same questions, I'm sure, thousands of times. So we wanted to take this opportunity to ask you some silly questions you've never been asked before. I'm going to start. So let's start with Jane. Finish this sentence. When I have trouble falling asleep, I...
Smoke my vape pipe.
So you guys do have stuff in common.
Right. Now, Lily, what would we find if we looked in your nightstand?
We'd find a copy of her vape pipe that she sent to me as a present.
And Jane, what about you?
A vibrator. We're on the same page.
Right.
Oh, this one. Okay, Jane.
Industrials.
Yeah.
3 speeds.
Yeah, 3 speed.
3 speeds.
Like the Concorde.
You know, Mrs. Beasley did a monologue about vibrators back in like '81, and the Hollywood Reporter said that Lily has started working blue.
You are so ahead of your time.
Yes, I remember that story. Yeah. I remember that story.
Okay, Jane.
What?
I'm so
Yes,
still
tell
doing
us
it.
one thing that you learned of because your grandchildren told you.
My 15-year-old granddaughter knows every word to every rap song that's ever been written. And I just look in the rearview mirror, and there she is, just rapping away. Also, they taught me how to do FaceTime.
Oh,
Yes. That's good.
When you look in the mirror, is she rapping backwards?
Backwards? Oh, you mean?
All right, Lily. Lily, what have you wasted the most money on?
Cosmetics.
Really?
Something like that. Cosmetics. And Jane won't give me any lessons.
So this question is for both of you. Is regifting okay, and have you ever done it?
Totally great, fabulous. I find that the easiest way to give presents.
Well, you know, we get swag.
Yes.
We get swag and stuff like that, and so, you know, you rewrap it. I do it a lot. The problem is that sometimes it's engraved to me. So then they find out that I've regifted, and I've been caught a lot of times. Just ask my grandkids.
The thing is,
But you didn't ask me. I wish you'd asked me what I waste a lot of money on.
Okay, what did you wish?
Okay.
Your money.
See, I like gardening, but I'm too old for saplings.
You don't have
So
a square
I
inch of earth.
Shush. No, this is not now, before when I had land.
Okay.
When I was land rich, like Scarlett O'Hara. So I would buy 40-foot tall trees or steal them from my ex-husband, Ted Turner. I'm not kidding. And truck them in and plant them. And I would plant entire forests of 40-foot tall trees.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
She's got a lot more scratch than I do. Now, a 40 tall tree.
I didn't steal them. I would
Has-
call
but
him
that
and
has a
say,
big
honey, do you
root
mind if I
system."
take those 4 trees on the creek that's up north of some? And he would always say yes.
But you'd have to get a big root ball
Yeah.
to take to your property.
And you wrap it in burlap, and I
Yeah.
had a bunch of illegal
You did it by
immigrants
yourself?
that would,
You had a lot of helpers.
a lot of families of helpers that would do it brilliantly.
Sounds a
Your
bit
question,
illegal to me.
My question. I just want to make sure we exhausted that topic. Jane, now you sought the advice of psychics. I'm a big fan of psychics. What's something that somebody told you that came true?
Okay, so, this greatest psychic, she's over the hill now, but she said, oh my God, I see all this money coming. It's more money than you could ever imagine. And what's so interesting is that it comes from all over the world. And I thought, man, my workout is going to really take off. Yeah. But it was Ted Turner. Oh. CNN all over the world, Bonnie. Yeah.
That's true.
She predicted Ted Turner.
Wow. Nice. Now, Lily, what is the last thing you bought online?
Oh my God, I get every day. It's like, it's like an eBay carnival. It's like things just come, we open them, we have to kick packages aside to get to the door. All kinds of, there's just no limit to what Jane and I, not this Jane and I will order online. And then very often we've ordered the same thing.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
And in fact, I could give you like my extras.
I don't want your leftovers.
Jane, tell us one of your guilty pleasures.
One of your guilty pleasures?
Vibrator?
Jane Fonda, Lily Tomlin, thank you guys so much for being here. Please come back anytime. So excited you're here. Season 5 of Grace and Frankie is available for streaming on Netflix, and we'll be right back.